About forgiveness. Hello, my name's Betty. I'm a grateful person in recovery, a divine spiritual being living a temporary human experience. And today we're learning about forgiveness. How do I truly let go and forgive? Well, I used to really not be into this concept of forgiveness. I love grudges. I love judgment. I love feeling like there's poison inside my body because that's literally what resentment is. It's like you drinking poison and waiting for the other person to die. So there's a couple of different things that I do to help me with a forgiveness practice. Number one, forgiveness isn't about saying that what this other person did is okay. It's just about saying, I'm not going to let it affect me. I'm ready to stop carrying it, is really what it's saying. So, one of the things that I do is I believe in this concept of pre birth planning. I mean, I don't just believe it, I have a deep spiritual knowing in it, but you can have a belief in it if that's too much for you. So, basically, pre birth planning says that everything has already been scripted, our lives are written out before we get here. So, the people in my life that I believe are villains are actually divine soulmates that I've come into contract with to play these roles with each other. Kind of a big spiritual theory. So, like, let's try to break it down in kind of more human terms, if you will. Like, let's get some practical tools on how to integrate forgiveness into your life. So, I'm a member of 12 Step Fellowship. I've been in recovery since June of 2019, and I've worked the 12 steps. And in step four, it's this step where we made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. And basically, this is like I stop replaying the story of what they did and I look at how I've been affected. So, because of, we'll use my parents for an example. My parents were active drug addicts for their entire lives, and I grew up in all of that chaos and dysfunction. And my parents both died from their addiction 18 years ago by committing suicide with one another. So, how do I forgive and let go of something like that? Well, I don't look at their actions as something that need to be forgiven. I just look at the way that it's affected me. So because I experienced this gigantic gaping abandonment and rejection wound from my parents ending their lives together, I look at how that's shaped the other relationships in my life moving forward. So I became toxically codependent. I would get my partner strung out on drugs so that they would quote unquote need me. And it shaped me into a person who was always wreaking this air of desperation in my life. I never believed, I never had faith in anything other than myself and my ability to manipulate and try to control people. And so I have to forgive that storyline. I have to forgive the way that I behaved because of an event that I didn't have any control over. So in steps 5 through 7 in 12 step fellowship, it's really about like confession, humility, and willingness to let go and turn it over. And so I admit that I have this pattern, and it means that I'm taking back my power by saying that I didn't deserve that hurt, but I do deserve a better life moving forward. So let me hop into that. Okay, so then as far as forgiveness goes, on this path of like utilizing the 12 steps as a tool, step 9, I make direct amends wherever I can. So there's some areas of my life where I can't make direct amends because people won't receive my amends, or they have restraining orders against me and I can't give them to them. But I can be a better person moving forward. So I'm not going to victimize myself by the behaviors of my past. And instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be a better person moving forward. So, in my life, I hurt a lot of people. So today I make sure that I help a lot of people. And I do that in a bunch of different ways. I can either offer guidance or mentorship, or I can hold a door open and smile at somebody and maybe give them a compliment. So, one of the other tools that I use to help me with forgiveness is A Course in Miracles. And A Course in Miracles is this big, beautiful book right here. A Course in Miracles says that it's not, forgiveness is not about behavior, it's about perception. A Course in Miracles state that nothing is even actually happening, so there is nothing to forgive. But again, let's get out of that big giant spiritual concept and just shrink it down to human size. The key to happiness is forgiveness because it restores right perception. I don't deserve to be miserable in my life. God doesn't want that for me. I don't want that for me. So let me just let go, transmute, and transcend. I'm going to stop seeing things through the lens of fear and I'm going to start seeing things through the eyes of love. One surefire way to offer forgiveness, let's say that you have a mother wound. Let's say that your mom is a narcissist. I totally hate that word so much. Well, what's the key element of a narcissist? It's somebody who lacks empathy, right? So let's say that your mom is a narcissist. Can you think of the things that have happened to her in her life that might have loosened her ability to provide empathy? Like, was she traumatized? Was she molested? Was she beaten? Was she told that she wasn't good enough? All of those things matter. They're not excuses for someone's bad behavior. At some point, you have to take responsibility for your healing. You're not responsible for what happened to you, but you are responsible for what you do with it moving forward. The best way to heal a parent wound is to remember where your parents come from. Okay, every time I hold a grudge, I'm saying I'd rather be right than be happy. And that's, of course, in miracles as well. Do you want to be right or do you want to be happy? Well, I want to be both. Can I be? Sometimes I am, hardly. But I would rather be happy than be right. So you just got to let it go. I like to think of my resentments as this is a real story. When I was leaving treatment, I was in drug rehab for a year and a half when I came into this whole spiritual awakening process as a result of an overdose and a near death experience. When I came into this whole process, I started manifesting and I would practice these little manifesting tricks. And I really needed a suitcase because I was about to move out of my drug rehab, but I didn't have anything to pack all my shit in. And I was like, okay, universe, I'm manifesting a suitcase. And I didn't have money to buy one. So, right before I had to move, like literally the day before, I did come across a suitcase on the street. And it was full of books. And I took all the books out and I grabbed this suitcase and it had a broken wheel. It was filthy. I can't even believe I put my shit inside of it. Disgusting. It was filthy. It had a broken wheel and the handle was broken. And so it didn't have the top part. It just had these two sticks sticking out. So when you went to grab it, it would cut your hand. And this is what I think about all of my emotional baggage is inside of a suitcase that looks just like this. It's this big, blue, dirty, filthy, wheelless, handleless thing that I keep lugging around with me over and over again. Why? That's disgusting. Why am I bringing a heaping pile of shit with me into the next chapter of my life? Is that what I actually think the universe wants for me? Guess what, guys? It's not. On a scale of 1 to 10, how worthy do you feel? How worthy do you feel on a scale of 1 to 10? I know that I am an 11 on the scale of worthiness, but do I always feel that way? No. And it's usually because I won't allow forgiveness into my heart. There's another lesson in A Course in Miracles that teaches about forgiveness, and I'll do a quick little iteration of it. And I'll thank my friend Jay Clay for bringing this back into my awareness recently. Okay, I want you to picture baby you. Maybe you see a picture of yourself as a baby that you can hold in your mind's eye. What are you wearing? What is your facial expression? What do you look like? Can you see the innocence inside of you? Now, I want you to picture baby you inside of a beautiful ball of light. There's just this wonderful force field of energy all around baby you. And it's growing brighter and brighter and brighter. And you see how worthy she is of that light. And you love her so much. Just let that light keep growing and growing and growing. And now I want you to swap baby you out with the person that you resent the most right now and put that person into that beautiful ball of light. And just allow that energy, that unconditional love, that forgiveness, that empathy, that compassion, that joy, that happiness to enter into every cell in their body and to enter into every cell in your body and really allow that energy to take place. Everything I give, I receive. If I give judgment, if I give defensiveness, if I give anger, if I give frustration, I will receive those things. And I don't want to receive those things. So I place every single person that I hold a grudge against inside that light on a daily basis because consistency is better than perfection. I'm not always going to be perfect at this, but I can be repetitious about it, and repetition works. Okay. That's my practice on forgiveness. Thanks for letting me share. Be wavy.